their thoughts?
I mean, it could be, but I mean, I'm just gonna go based off of my son. Played mad video games. That stupid I don't know what the hell is that game.
Fortnite.
No,
Grand Theft,
he's too old for that.
Grand
Call it
Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto and the like James Bond
Modern Warfare.
the what is 007 games or whatever, and he would never. And he is in a home with a firearm. So I mean, again, there were red flags for that child that were ignored. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it wasn't even red flags; those were red alarms that should have been going off since he was before he was 10.
Mhm.
Because this is not some behavior that you just pop up. He was doing certain things at certain ages that should have been a red alarm a long time ago that
Mm-hmm.
should not have led to this situation happening.
It got worse when he got older.
Sean, do you think that the video games are a major role in his behavior?
It's a possibility. Like I said, once we hear what the complete trial and hear all the things that may have happened that was going on with his life, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and anything could have been feeding what was already nurturing in his mind in the first place.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sean, for that. Too, because just so you guys know, just don't take our word for it. You can watch this. I believe it's airing on Court TV right now because I believe the news report was just a brief overview of the case. Uh, so you guys, you can tune into Court TV and you can watch this. And you don't take our word for it. You can check it out yourself. So for all you people that are just now joining us, tonight's topic is: should young children be jailed for murder? And of course, we are taking everything into account: the jailing, the trial, and what makes up this type of behavior, what leads to this behavior, and what type of consequences or type of discipline or rehabilitation, if any, is had should take place. Again, so we're gonna go back to Robert. Do you feel like did the video games play a big part in this child's thought process?
He got his phone on pause.
Okay, same question, Bird. Do you feel like the video games was a factor?
He ain't in there.
Okay, so we're
He
gonna
on
have to.
pause.
All right, Gregory. So you said.
Here, shut up, Timmy. Just shut up.
I was about to move on. Go ahead. Same question. Do you feel like the video games were the cause of this person's behavior?
I am not gonna say it is the total reaction, but to go get a gun, and I'm sure he's playing certain video games that are shooting people and all that Fortnite and all these other games that they're influenced by. But I don't think that's the soul. This boy is obviously mentally ill, and that's just that.
And that's what they're referring. They said it was some mental issues because if you guys heard in the report, I think the doctor said that there was some alarming mental issues. He brought it to the mother's attention, and maybe that is what led to her putting cameras in the home. Talia, how you feel about that? Sleeping in a home where you have to have cameras to monitor your children.
I wouldn't be in a home with cameras to monitor my children. If my son had issues, he would be getting help, even if that meant that he had to be removed from the home to go somewhere, in them. Because I have other children. I'm putting everybody in the house first.
So you feel like if you have to remove him from the environment in order to save everybody else, that's what you're gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Patsy, how you feel
But
about that?
that doesn't mean I'm gonna let them remove him and then wash my hands. No, because that's what some parents do. They have the child removed and then wash hands. Don't continue and be engaged and make sure that everything's going okay. Don't attend any meetings. They leave them there and be gone.
Patsy, same question. If you had to live in a home where you needed cameras to monitor the comings and goings, the actions in your home due to your child's behavior, how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? How would that make you feel?
It would make me feel unsafe and steady, and
My logo's still showing, right?
yeah,
Mixed off.
I agree with Tanya. I'd have to remove him to make sure like he getting the severe help that he really needs, and monitor and make sure he's everything keeping up, going there like at least once or twice a week or whatever amount of time I could go to check in on him and stuff, you know. But yeah, it's like no. I would have been before even 10 years old. I would have had him in rehab of some sort, you know. So yeah.
All right, Sean, same question. I don't know. How would you respond? How would you react to having to install cameras in your house to monitor the behavior of your child?
I would be all for it if I knew my child had some behavioral issues. I wouldn't have a problem with having a camera in there for the simple fact that I need to make sure that there's nothing happening to us or him doing something to himself while we're not around, just so that we know, or that the authorities or whatever the case may be, that there's some type of record of documentation of what's going
on. Go ahead, Sean.
Can you guys didn't hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, we heard you.
Was it finished?
Yeah, I was done.
Robert, you back with us?
Yeah. No, he walked away again.
All right, Bird, same question.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yes. Same question. How would you feel about having to install cameras in your home to monitor the behavior of your problem child?
I would feel no type of way. I guess if it's a safety issue, then we would try to hide the cameras in an area where he will not know of or be able to detect. So maybe like in pictures or inside your light fixtures, something where this child will not notice them. And that's like to protect him and to protect me from anything he might say I have done to him or me worrying about what he can do to himself and others.
So you're not in fear about what he might do to you?
He says prayers every night.
Amen.
Okay, so Bird, same question. How would you react in a situation like that where you have to install cameras to monitor your child's behavior?
I don't believe that's an option for me. I can show you again as who I am. I am the alpha male in every event in my life, and that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna beat it out of you, or I'll put you away somewhere and get you the help you need. I mean, I'll get you some help, but I might have to beat on you a little bit to get it. You're gonna have that fear of me. You're not gonna do that to me. No is gonna mean no. Maybe later, okay, when dad gets his bread up or your grades are better, or I get it. I reward behavior. Don't get me wrong. It's not all bad, but I will never be in a home that I have to worry about my safety from my child. I don't think so. That's not even a worry for me, an option. You heard her beat him. You heard Sealy, beat her. I'm gonna beat him.
Gregory, how do you feel about the situation? How would you feel about living in a home where you have to install cameras to monitor the behavior of your children?
I think a nanny cam would definitely have been needed after the dog was swung by its tail. But after the dog was swung by his tail, they should have took because he's behaving like an animal. You got to bring him in to get fixed.
Oh,
They should have drilled a hole in that boy's head.
oh no. You say that again.
That's what they used to do to mental people, drill holes in their head.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Why do you think I said no?
so now we just gonna drill holes in their heads. What is that to relieve the pressure or the demonic behavior?
I don't
Probably
know.
a little
It's
bit of both.
Mm.
experimental
I guess
doctor.
it's letting the demons out, Dave.
I don't know. What is this? Some type of east? I
They
don't
relieved
know.
the killer.
Southeast, east, west, east, northeast. I don't know. Where y'all get this? What's this? Some type of Eastern medicine? I don't
No,
get
That's
it.
what they
What
this
they
did.
was
used to do to
happening
the
in
mentally
America.
ill. They
Right.
did a
That's
lot
what
of
they used to
electroshock
do.
treatment too.
Yeah.
So
Right?
let me just say this to you, young America.
Fernald State School, Fernald State, whatever, mental institution, Fernald
Institution,
State.
yeah.
Let me say this to
They
you, young
fixed him like
America.
a dog. He don't move no more.
For all you young people that may see this video or you're tuning in right now, you hear what your elders are referring to as strategies to correct your behavior, discipline strategies. Even on the we're getting you some type of psychological or therapy. They are saying go back to the medieval time where they're drilling holes in your head to release the evil spirits and flogging you and tying you up and giving you shock treatment. And this is what they feel like the solution is because you're behaving barbaric, and so they feel like you need to react with barbaric tactics in order to correct the behavior. Am I correct in saying this for those that opted to use those type of discipline strategies?
Yes.
Yes, it's either you're gonna not do it again or you're gonna face the extreme.
Okay.
But true story, I know a lady that put her son into an institution because he had behavior problems. She couldn't control him. He was doing crazy stuff. He was hurting himself, flipping off of furniture and stuff, smashing his sister in the head with chairs and stuff like that. So she put him into an institution when he was like damn 10 or 11 years old. And he
Oh,
stayed in the program until he was like 18.
is he
And then
rehabilitated?
he rehabilitated. They you know, he got the help he needed. He graduated from school because they schooled him in the institution. And then if he did well and got his points up on the charts, he'd go home on the weekends. You
Mm.
know, so and all that, he would go up there and see him and stuff like that. And then now they have a great relationship
Okay.
because she got him the help that he needed. And he has no ill will towards her. He knew he needed help, and he thanked his mother for that.
Okay, so that brings me to the next question. In this situation with the young man that decided to take his mother out because she said no, do you think that was bad parenting
He
or
didn't pick up on the sign.
lack of discipline? Let's go to.
Everybody failed this kid.
Okay, go ahead, Bert.
Everybody failed this kid. Mother, doctors, therapists, schools, everybody. I mean, some people did their due diligence. I believe the people reported what they could, but there was more could have been done and they failed. Everybody. The mother, the doctors, the therapists, the schools, everybody failed that kid. That's why he's where he's at too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Patsy, you did daycare. How do you feel about this? Was this a case of bad parenting or bad discipline strategies?
Combination of everything.
Okay, elaborate.
Just like not totally. Okay, she did what she could, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she could have did more and be like more aggressive
Mm-hmm.
than what she
She was
was.
scared. She was scared though.
Well,
Yeah,
somebody,
that's
somebody,
probably why she
Yeah.
got a gun
But
too.
my mother might have been scared of some of the stuff that we could have did, but unfortunately, we didn't have the kind of behavior that this child displayed from early onset age, so therefore she didn't have to worry about the
Mm-hmm,
unstable
yeah.
mental conditions. So it's like she was scared, but then if you knew he needed mental help, you should have got that. Like some of that stuff wasn't happening and it wasn't working at 5, 6 years old or
mm-hmm.
whatever, however old he was. When you first started him with a therapist,
Mm-hmm.
then you should have aggressively went into more um m- much more aggressive environment, like taking them out your own household and put them in their mental institution. So, and parenting, discipline, if that wasn't working in the house with him,
Mm-hmm.
then you should have removed him.
So you saying she needed a more aggressive approach, whereas pursuing services for him.
Right.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Sean, how you feel about that? Um, how do you feel about that?
I agree with Patsy a little bit. It's a combination of both. I mean, again, um, if he had some of the issues that he had, and they and the mother could have done a little bit more, or village could have done more, because that's what they said, that
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
signs that they saw, that they feels bad because none of them stepped up, so she probably didn't have that complete help like she thought she did or
Mm-hmm.
could have had. So yeah.
So it's a little bit of both, bad parenting and bad discipline strategies, and a
I don't
lack, and a
necessarily
lack.
say
Go ahead,
parent.
Sean.
I don't necessarily want to say bad parenting, but definitely some some preventive, stronger preventive measures could have been taken.
Okay.
And we have to understand too, the mother probably embarrassed
Okay.
that her son got a problem. No parent wants to admit that their kid got a problem, and everybody else around them can see it, but they're saying no, he don't got it. He's all right. He just happened. I just leave him alone, and he'll calm down. Stuff like that. So again, she missed those signs that was there, and who's to say she had, the signs and felt like she had to get surveillance cameras, and two, she had to get a gun to protect herself from the kid.
Okay.
You know,
Now we don't know for certain the gun was to protect herself from the kid because there was a gun case. So that implies that there was, a place for the guns. So that's what the key was, to a gun case. They were specific about that. So we don't know if the gun was to protect her from the child. So Tanya, how you feel about that? Do you feel like it was bad parenting or bad discipline strategies?
I think it was discipline strategies, and I want to go back to the video games and the
Okay.
because a lot of, like, there was no father mentioned, so we have to assume that she was a single parent, and a lot of times single mothers or mothers, parents in general, they want to give their kids, they want to be, we always want to be like the Joneses. So you either giving them a game, giving them the game or access to the internet to occupy their time, because you're either working all the time, something to occupy their time, or their friends got it. And so they want to be like their friends. But I'm saying all of this to say that right after that video, I went and watched that video on YouTube. Right after that video came up a video about these brothers, the family of 7, where the parents kept the kids inside. They didn't let them go talk to anybody else or associate with anybody else. They was homeschooled. And they had all the electronics and the games and all of that, and that's how they spent their time, playing the games, looking at watching murder movies on YouTube, on the TV, from the tablet, watching murder movies, that they got obsessed with that type of behavior. And we're talking about the 2 guys was 17 and 16 and 17. And we're talking about their minds not fully being developed until they're 21. So they're being impressioned with the things that they're feeding it within their spirit.
It's later than 21. It's 20. It's more like 26, 27.
Yeah. Well, they're being fed. They're being fed by what they see. They came up with this plan to kill their family members because they became obsessed with these murders and the mass killings and things. They
wanted to try.
They wrote out a plan to kill their family. They was going to start out with their family, then they was going to go out in the neighborhood and start just shooting random people, killing random people. So they had packed up, they got money, they bought ammunition off the internet, the guns and things off the internet. They had planned to kill their parents.
Where was they getting this money from?
From out of the bank, from their parents' account.
Okay, parenting is a active thing. You can't just passively be a parent. So I feel like that's the problem. I'm gonna let Tanya talk. Go ahead, Tanya. Finish.
We're gonna come right back to you. Go ahead, Tanya.
They ended up killing the whole family except for the one sister who was able to get herself out the house, and the baby that was upstairs sleeping in the bed.
Oh, Jesus. Go ahead, Duchess. Tell them how you really feel.
Parenting is an active thing. You just can't passively parent. So this is where I feel some of the lack of parenting in both of these stories are. Like when again, a child does not overnight just develop these behaviors or whatever. They started probably at 5 or 6 or maybe even before that. And when she was taking him to his pediatrician, she should have said, hey, it's weird to me that he is doing XYZ, ABC, whatever. That should have been another avenue. Yes. School. I agree with Bird. He was around a teacher 8 plus 6 to 8 hours a day. Nobody in their school picked up on little whatever his name is doing, because again, it's just not, he wasn't turning it on at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. He was behaving this way all day long, every day, incidents, pushing kids, shoving kids, doing crayons, and like there were signs all over the place. And I agree with Bird. Everyone failed that child. Because again, parenting is not a passive thing. If you are a parent, you should be aware of what your child is doing. And I'm not saying you're gonna be around them 24/7, know everything, but enough of a active parent that no, you don't have your door closed. And why is this door closed? And what are you doing over here? And who are you talking to? And no, not in this house.
Yeah, because
So
I would be concerned if little Tommy, Billy, or little Michael or little Susie is having conversations with people that I'm unaware of. You don't have no siblings, and you're in the room talking by yourself, or if you have siblings and you're having conversations with people other than people in your household. Are you on phone talking to somebody? Who told you to talk to all people on phone? Are you on the internet? Who gave you permission to be chatting with someone on the internet? And if you're having conversations with people that are not here, that I can't see or hear, and have conversations with too, yeah, we all gonna need psychological help.
yeah, every now and then you need to roll up on your kid and don't let them know that you there. You just listen.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
you
Right?
outside the door and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, now he's talking about, oh, hell no.
Cause you know,
Get off that game. Get off.
y'all
You're
know,
done.
y'all know our parents did it to us. Busting
Yeah.
out the room. What
Exactly.
you say? Who
Bust in
you
your room. Listen on the other line, on the other end of the phone or wherever.
you having conversations
Yeah.
about them. And they know everything you say because they listen outside the door. Shout out to my dad, rest in peace, but I know he practiced that a lot. He used to sit there and listen to everything. Even my uncle, he did it too. They sit there and they get what they figure out what they want to figure out. Timmy, it's been said that you do the same thing. So
Yeah, I say it because I want you to know. That's why I say it.
well, there you
Hey,
have it.
I think most good
And
parents do that.
David.
yeah.
Dave, could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Robert.
It goes back to I don't care if they had internet, a phone, cable, that I gave you all these things and I'm the one that's paying the bill. At the end of the night, if I'm
That
shutting
stuff
my
is a
lights off,
privilege anyway.
yeah,
All
listen,
It
that's
is.
Yeah,
at the
let
end of the
finish.
night, if I'm shutting my lights off, I'm shutting yours off. I unplugged cable cords. I took television cords out. I'll take your light
I
bulb
remember
off and
those
turn that
days.
switch back on. I'm gonna take your cell phone or I'll take the plug to it. Cause when I lay my head down, I want to have a resting time. I don't want to worry about who you talking about that's gonna come over and kill my whole family while I'm sleeping. I don't want you being molested over the line, mentally or physically. I don't want you to get no ideas at all. I raised you a certain type of way to be a reflection of your parents in the streets. If you had any mental breakdowns, break down in front of me so we can get help together because you're at my household. So neglecting the responsibility of the parent, there's no way that you can do so. They living with you. You're walking the floors, up and down the stairs. You know how you feed them and how you bed them. There's no excuses.
All right, we have another video. Mr. Lacey, you ready with the second video?
Give me 1 second.
All right. So again, I think this second video is about a whole lot younger than the first one. You guys just wait till you see what's up next.
Is he from the States?
No, we'll see. It's coming right now. So let's hold our rebuttal until
Mom,
after the video.
28-year-old Marie Ayala, appearing before a judge at the Orange County Jail. She faces charges of manslaughter, culpable negligence, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Deputies say on May 26th, her 26-year-old husband, Reggie Mabry, was shot in the back inside the home on Toby Court, where he and Ayala rented a bedroom along with their 3 children, ages 5, 2, and 5 months. Ayala told deputies the whole family was in the bedroom and Mabry was playing a video game in the corner when she heard a loud pop and realized he'd been shot. Deputies say it was the 5-year-old who told them that his younger brother, just 2 years old, had gotten hold of the gun and pulled the trigger, killing his dad.
The gun was not properly stored. In fact, it was easily accessible even to a 2-year-old. And the result is a tragedy, again, in this community that no one really can comprehend.
Children were not harmed in the incident and are all now in the custody of DCF. Investigators say it was a Glock 19 similar to this one that was used in the shooting. The sheriff pleaded with gun owners to properly secure their weapons.
Gun owners that do not properly secure their firearms are just one split second away from one of these tragedies happening in their homes. Now these young children have effectively lost both of their parents.
Ayala remains in the Orange County Jail. In Orange County, Amanda Dukes, West 2 News.
Could we come right back to me first, please?
Well, you already started, so let's go.
There's some of that stuff make me angry. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe that story, but that's my opinion. I believe that not just the 2-year-old had his hand on that gun. I believe the 5-year-old had his hand on that gun. I believe that he placed that gun in his two-year-old brother's hands. It was said that they probably bop 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 played around the house as like a video game. I don't know that to be true, but I don't also believe that this 2-year-old shot his dad. I say maybe the 5-year-old did it, put it in his brother's hand. I don't know if he's that smart to do such thing, but I just don't see this 2-year-old kid squeezing no Glock when it's
The right
more.
person is going to jail, Uncle Rob.
Yes, and the mother went to jail because she should have been watching her children. But the
Is
5-year-old
is negligent.
listen.
One at a time.
The 5-year-old is telling this story. So brothers, siblings sometimes tend to lie on each other. You understand? I didn't do that.
Can the 2-year-old talk? Can he talk?
Yes. So that's why I'm thinking the 5-year-old might have shot his dad accidentally and said that, oh my God, he did it.
Here's why I'm saying the mother is the one going to jail, because if that did happen, I believe she coached her kids to orchestrate this story. She's probably thinking that the 2-year-old and the youngest are not going to face that much consequences.
Yes,
right.
So now he's trying to get, and if you're trying to protect your kid like that, you're not really protecting them, because that kid's going to have a whole bunch of problems.
Well, a 5-year-old can't go to jail either. So this is just
is negligent.
I mean, there's just there's negligence all over. Because the kid's curiosity with a gun is like a magnet to kids. Yes. So it should have been put up. Again, not a proponent of guns in the house with young children, but like I said, you never know what the circumstances are. But she's in jail. But again, if you have 3 kids, she might have been taking care of the 5-month-old. Like, you can't have the eyes everywhere. So
it's a small ass room. But
then, Kiana,
you see the difference.
But if I'm changing the baby's diaper, I sure don't got my eyes over there. I'm doing what I'm doing with this child here, and I might have been like, stop playing with whatever, stop doing what y'all are doing, not even putting your head up. So she's culpable, but at a small percentage, because I don't know whose gun it was, his, hers. More likely than not, it was his.
And she probably was in the bedroom.
Minister Society. You seen what King did?
Say that again, Tanya.
They was in the room.
In a room, yeah.
They was renting the bedroom. That doesn't mean that they all was in the bedroom. She probably was in the bedroom changing the baby.
If they rent the room,
and he's in the living room playing the video with his gun laying all haphazardly.
So why wasn't the father paying attention to the kids while mom just changed the 5-month-old? If that was the case,
busy in the video game.
He doesn't need to be in the video games. You made video kids. Watch your children, play with them.
All right, let's keep this realistic. Not all of us are parents, and we can all say that we have not kept our eyes on our kids at all times.
Exactly what I said.
So we can't let's not jump on it and make it seem like that's the sole reason why this has happened.
I'd say the sole reason is negligent. That's the bottom line. Negligent.
I agree with Timmy.
I'll go with the negligence, because the negligence is you had a loaded house not secured.
Right. And Sean, you see the difference between the one who didn't have their gun secure and the one that had her gun secured.
Okay, so then this is the
what's the
problem.
difference?
Then this
The
this
difference is that kid knew where the gun was,
They all
And
do.
you have to get the key.
They all
and
do.
he knew he had to get a key to unlock it.
But he still.
These people here just he got his stuff out, laying out around in the room. The kids know where he keep it at because he puts it there every time he come in. They all living in one room. 3 kids and 2 parents. They all living in one damn room.
All right, let's go
Well,
back.
they
Let's
was
go.
renting. But I want to ask you guys this. Do you think it's from plain and simple going to a store, something I never believed in, going to the store, buying these water guns, these cap guns, bang, 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 letting your kids play with it. They get infatuated with this whole thought of guns, and then they touch a real one and think that they can do the same thing. Bang, 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 cops and robbers. Gregory, as my nephew, no matter if your mother or your cousin's mother or my son's mother brought y'all guns. What happened to y'all guns?
You used to take them. You used to take our knives too.
All of it. And that's what a parent does. An uncle, a guardian, a family member, someone that's concerned.
Yeah.
But our grandmother bought all her grandsons BB guns.
See, look. When it comes down to, guys, to be honest with you, it is a negligent factor because it comes down with the firearm being in the house and mismanagement of it. The children should not be aware of where this gun is encased, where it's stored away. They shouldn't have access to it. Shouldn't be readily available to them. It should not be visible to them. That's the first problem. If these children was not aware of these firearms and stuff, then they wouldn't know how to get access to them. So the negligence is on the parents' part. It's not on the child's part. You have something like that, the child should not have access to it. Unfortunately, his
or know where you keep it at.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, that's true, but like we all kids all have been curious. We've all been in our closets looking for stuff and whatever. So just you might not have known where it is, and you might have come across it. I mean, the 10-year-old knew where it was, but
yeah, he see those each situation is different because in that the 10-year-old's situation, it was a gun case. It was locked. There was a key. He knew where to find the key. This situation with the second video, this was out in the opening, readily available. So the children just picked it up and started playing.
Yeah, that's
with it.
negligence.
And yes, clear negligence. Because had it been properly stored away, then the child wouldn't have got access to it, and it wouldn't have been no accident. Unfortunately, that.
But I'm starting to believe what Gregory and Robin said. I don't believe this story about this 2-year-old pulling a gun.
Okay,
I can't fathom to. But this
I mean, it only
little
takes
2 year
it doesn't
and
take much.
You'll
holding
find
it
out the
straight
true story.
too. That shit is heavy. It is heavy.
Yeah. So someone said earlier, how does a child? Well, let me say this before we go into that. First of all, what I was saying earlier, Timmy, about the negligence. Unfortunately, the negligence brought about these people's demise. They're no
Right.
longer here.
Exactly.
The dad's gone, and
Right.
it took away the mother too, because in this situation, they're gonna hold someone accountable. But it is just
well, she is accountable too.
Well. Here's the thing about that, right? You're gonna destroy this
He's
family.
accountable too for having his
But
gun while he playing the game.
you're gonna destroy this family. You're gonna destroy this family.
That's a red call again. She's calling again.
The father's dead. The father's dead, and now you're going to jail the mother. That's just bad.
Yeah.
So that's a bad situation. But someone said earlier, how does a 2-year-old endure the recoil? you know,
That's what I'm. That's
gun
why I
fired.
don't believe it. That's why I don't believe it.
How does that child endure that? Sean, you want to speak on that?
This isn't the first case where a 2-year-old has fired a gun at someone. There was a case in Oregon 3 years ago where a 2-year-old shot his uncle from the back seat of the driving.
God damn.
Now, what was the gun in the car and the kid just happened to pick it up?
Yeah, it was underneath the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go again. Gross negligence. It's an act of protection, but it's visible to the child. So the child decides to pick the gun up, pull the trigger, and shoot you in the back. What happened to the uncle?
Oh, he ended up dying.
See?
He shot him in the back of the head.
Oh, wow. Wow. See?
Back of the head, the little boy ended up with a broken arm because shot him in the back of the head, and the car flipped over, they said, 7 times.
So did the recoil break his arm, or was it the accident? The car flipped over.
To be honest with you, I have no idea.
Because that's what I would think would happen to a kid that shoots a gun. Did the impact, would be so powerful that it would break something on, it would harm them, it would push them back.
And then forensics should show that they have the gunpowder on them after they fire the firearm anyway.
Exactly.
Well, they was only
in the case with the mother, I'm thinking maybe she was holding her kid in her hand or something. I don't know. But
we don't know.
The kickback is definitely a factor.
That's what I'm saying. Where it can smack the kid in the face. It can almost smack the kid in the face.
But let me say this, because I have witnessed situations where I've seen adults play these adult games with their children. They teach them how to play the games. They know what guns to use on the games, stuff like that. You have some people that have guns in their house and they teach their children how to
mentioned earlier
guns, how to access them, and everything. So there are situations like that. So earlier when I said this young man took a shooting stance, we're not certain that this mother wasn't showing him how to use the gun, or that there wasn't, or did he not watch her doing it? Maybe she took him with her to the shooting range. Maybe she shot bottles out in the yard or something. We don't know. She had a gun case. There's a lot of things about this case that we do not know. But what we know for certain is family, there wasn't enough support. There wasn't enough male presence. And if it was, it wasn't effective enough where this kid feared any consequences. Go ahead. Who was trying to speak? All right. So when you get your mic together, come back in. All right. So we're getting near the end, guys. So Gregory, is there another video?
No.
Okay. So all right. I don't know. Was there someone else new that just joined in, Gregory?
Nah, I believe that was Uncle Rob. He muted his phone though.
Okay. All right. So I got somebody who's trying to give some input. All right, let's get people's final thoughts. We're nearing the 9 o'clock hour. Well, before we even go there, let me just tell everybody, don't forget about the Envy event this Saturday, December 17th. All those that would like to attend, just check in with me later after the show, and I'll make sure you get the address and the other information that you need to do so. Also, I'm gonna make a decision ahead of time, let you guys know about next Tuesday, if we're gonna have a show or not. But I will inform everybody beforehand. So that being said, let's get people's final thoughts. Okay, so in this situation, it's tragic. 2 parents lost their life. In the first case with the mother with the 10-year-old. Yes, I think that behavior was demonic. Does this child require some rehabilitation? Yes, of all sorts. I agree with Tanya. It needs to be spiritual. I also believe that yeah, there should be some greater consequences for his action. But you guys, you got to know too in this situation, they're already saying this kid has mental issues, but the defenses are that he showed a pattern. So
I actually have a quick clip. You want to play it?
yeah, go ahead, play the quick clip, and then we'll wrap up. Excuse me, play the quick clip, and then we will wrap up.
Zoom meeting.
Turned to Canada. The 4 boys will face up to 5 years in prison. Eric Miller, a chubby, nerdish kid from New York State, was only 13 when he killed 4-year-old Derek Robbie out in the woods. On August 2nd, 1993, the young defendant was out on his bike when he came across Derek, walking by himself to a nearby summer camp. Eric managed to lure him into the woods, where he tortured and killed him. He dropped 2 large rocks on the 4-year-old's head and then strangled him to death. He then stuck a stick up the child's rear opening in an attempt to bash his heart so it'll stop beating. He then took out a red Kool-Aid drink from Derek's bag and poured it onto his wounds. Eric came home that day totally calm, as if nothing had happened. The police eventually found out though, and on August 16th of the following year, Eric was charged with second-degree murder and sentenced to the maximum term for juveniles at the time, which was 9 years to life. Eric has been given a parole hearing every 2 years, but hasn't been let out since. When asked by the judge why he did it, he said, "Because instead of me being hurt, I was hurting someone else." Amarjit Saddah of India killed probably more people than the average serial killer, and he's only 8. This is hard to believe, but this killer's second victim was his own sister, and his parents ended up covering it up in order to protect their son's freedoms. His third victim was a 6-month-old baby, whom he took from a neighboring house and then bashed with a brick until the baby stopped breathing. Police eventually connected the boy's recent killing with the killing of his own sister. When he was asked why he did these gruesome things, he simply smiled and asked for a cookie. His parents said that he doesn't understand right from wrong. A psychologist discovered that Amarjit had a chemical imbalance in his brain that caused him to express conduct disorder, which is a mental disorder where the sufferer doesn't understand morals. The data is foggy, but he allegedly spent about 3 years in either a prison or a mental institution. He's now reportedly a free agent, walking around with a new name and identity.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Gregory. I mean, I can count on you to send us away with something to think about. Yeah, that is horrid. You know, even the last case with the one where the first one was bad, where I remember that one. That was, I think, in the 90s or something like that. With that Eric kid. That last one about the one 8 years old and well, that was one of the last ones that
the chemical imbalance.
Yeah, and then ask for a cookie. No. Cookie.
He ain't all there.
No.
You can tell he ain't playing with a full
No. I beg to differ.
I looked a little deeper into that one. His parents was actually letting him do this stuff, and they were saying they think it was happening because something is going on out in India, I guess, and they want more boys than girls, like the Chinese people.
No. Either way, I'm not that situation, like I said, some of this behavior is demonic. You're not gonna commit these acts and then be able to say with such intelligence, this is why you did it and stuff like that. If you are articulate enough to express why you did what you did, then you can understand why you did it. I
can second
Well, the
that.
one with the cookie, he didn't understand. He just wanted the cookie. So the first boy, yes.
No, even that he wanted a cookie.
So that's the same as a kid saying they want a bottle. That doesn't mean that they understand it. So I disagree with that part. I mean, there are such things as chemical imbalances and people not being balanced. People are
once again, he needed
go
the
outside. Everybody's
in
imbalanced in some type of way, but I'm just not to the extent of going around murdering people. But
and lastly, there's treatment for imbalances.
Yes, but again, it takes intentionality to confront the issue and want to find solutions, and a lot of these parents did not do that.
And that being said, with that same individual who took the baby outside and killed her after doing they connected him to another murder. This individual knew that I can kill somebody. He knew that.
Man, listen, my mother told me to stop saying this, but they need to be in them institutes where they're drilling holes in people's heads.
Well, okay, well, you that's certainly something to think about.
Fix them.
To be honest with you, we're gonna end it on that because we don't even require no last thoughts unless y'all want to. Sean, you got any last thoughts?
Who?
Sean?
Love your kids enough to teach them the difference from right to wrong. You know what I mean?
And if they're doing wrong, be parent enough to get them the help that they need.
Okay, so y'all just shouting out what y'all's last thoughts are. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on Kiana. She spoke for me. That's good.
All right, Bird, you still with us?
Yeah.
Josie?
Pay close attention to the signs so you could prevent horrible acts like this.
Okay, you're back. Timmy, go ahead.
Yes, I agree with Charlie and I agree with Charlie and Kiana. You know, you pay attention to those flags. That's all. Start of this when we first started about signs. You know, you either all of those and act on those signs or
All right, so
things like this happen.
Okay, Timmy, we could barely hear you, but we got the gist of it. Tanya, Patsy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Tanya.
What's my last thoughts?
Yeah, what's your last thoughts and remarks?
Being a parent, you have to take care of your children physically, mentally, spiritually. If one of those things is missing, you need to do what you got to do to get the help for them so that they are all around individuals.
All right, and Patsy.
Okay. Know your child, know what they know your child, know who they are, teach them boundaries, and if you know what they're up to and what they're not up to and what they're capable of, make sure you know how to do some tough love as well as loving them kindly.
Oh, we need to talk about that. Tough love.
Yes. Can we please not today, but yes, talk about parents wanting to be their kids' friends instead of being disciplinarians.
All right, I said final words. We'll talk about that next. We'll put that on the arm list. Someone send me a text regarding those topics. All right, so this is about the time of the show where we get our shameless plug in. At emporiumplus.org, we have a t-shirt by Adaptive Parish, and it is entitled Hurt People. Robin, you want to tell people where they can find this t-shirt and how much it costs and where they can purchase it?
Do your finger hurt? If it isn't hurting, this time of year is the holiday season. Join us. Tap into emporiumplus.org, where you will find all of the holiday specials and the sale that's going on right now. Still a Man, S.A.M, SOS Support Our Sisters, Envy Forever, Adaptive Parish Ladies First, and Adaptive Parish is giving you our holiday greetings. Merry Christmas to all.
All right, guys. And again, everybody that would like to partake in the Envy event, stay tuned. I'll give you more information as we get closer to the date. If you need information before then, just call me. Everybody has my number. Until next week, everybody stay safe. Everybody observe and record what's going on around you. And if you have any children that are exhibiting this type of dysfunctional behavior, make sure you pay attention to them, close attention, and make sure you are hands-on and you get them the necessary help before it's too late, because it may save both their lives and yours. This has been the Still a Man podcast. See you guys next week. God bless you.
Good night.
God bless everybody. Good night.
Hello.
Uh,
Good night.